time to start heading out on this cross-country trip on the CB500. Then I have some scribbles of tent spacers. If you don't know what tent spacing is, this is what I use when I go cross-country because it's cheap. Actually, it's free. You just have to kind of like find people. But tent spacing is basically people that put up their houses for motorcycle riders, and motorcycle riders will stay in their backyards. It's awesome. I've stayed in people's hangars, I've stayed in people's garages, under their patios. Sometimes they ask you to kind of like clean up and help them around the house, which I'm fine. And man, it's so much better than staying at hotels because I really just need a space to safely put my tent up. So I have a list of people I've already picked along my route from advrider.com. And if you don't know ADV Rider, it's probably like the greatest forum out there. Beginning of the adventure, getting out of the city. Finally getting to the Beltway. Let me get into here. In front of me is a very interesting bike. I think it's a Yamaha TW200. It's a really small dirt bike with a really big fat rear tire. It's kind of a cool bike. You don't see those every day. This was bound to happen. Some gravel roads. I like these roads that are a little bit smaller. The chances of a cop being here, remote. If you end up on gravel, don't hit your front brakes too much. Man, you have to be pretty strong to like bicycle up this hill, because it is a very steep hill. It's quite dangerous, especially in the United States where people don't ride bicycles all that much. I think there's some sort of like group here today, so that's why you're seeing a lot of cyclists. Normally you don't see this many. And it's also a Tuesday, so maybe they're doing a ride on a Tuesday because there's less traffic. Just bicycles are everywhere. This is the beginning of the twisty part. What you have to watch out for is some of the early corners. Remember, you're not used to it. You're going from this very big straightaway to riding Route 33. And by the way, I've had so many people crash on this road, and quite a few people I've had to take to the hospital. This corner right here is super dangerous. I've had so many people crash here. So many. I think James, I had to take him to the hospital. Then there was a guy on a 250. Man, it was just, this is a crazy road. Very fun, but it's much better than Route 211, but it does take quite a bit of time to get here. But really great road because it's got these off-camber sort of corners that really make you hug the road quite a bit. I had a guy on a GSX-R crash right here because a lot of these corners are very deceiving. You would think that they're just one speed, but then all of a sudden they change. They become a little bit more sharp, and then everybody kind of lets their guard down. It's so far away from DC, but like I said before, I can come here on a weekend, on a Saturday, and still get to DC on a Saturday. It does really well. Here's the West Virginia line is coming up. Yeah, like my best advice for people is to go into corners slower than you know you can. Yeah, this is a great road. Having this bike with luggage does some weird stuff to the suspension, but you can see this bike handles fairly well. We are on Route 33. We are about to head down this mountain pass. It's really great weather right now. The CB500X is doing extremely well, and you can see like from the video that the bike has no problem handling any speed. And this is a very twisty area, except the suspension is a little bit soft, so oftentimes it kind of wobbles around. But also keep in mind that I'm carrying luggage. Bike is really fantastic, and the tires are really grippy. Front tire is also a 17-inch. Hey, what is this? Man, why is there oil coming out here? Well, this is something that's quite a shock. There is some oil. It's something that I'm not quite sure that is happening. I just noticed this as I was recording, and this is oil. And there's oil on this engine case. There's oil on this bolt. Just check the oil. The oil seems to be in a good level. Kind of a surprising little thing, but I'm gonna keep going because it doesn't seem like it's leaking too much oil. I know I'm not riding really aggressive, but you know, I'm touring, and this is not my bike, so I want to be sure that I get this in one piece to the owner in Arizona. That's the goal. I mean, you can still have a lot of fun on this sort of stuff. Even on a sport bike, man, you can hit some pretty crazy speeds here. I'm gonna go to the left, which puts me in Sugar Grove. There's hardly any traffic, and I love this sort of thing. It just keeps going on and on forever. This is Route 250, excellent road. Route 250. So I mean, you can hit all of these in a day and really wear out your tires. Route 250, this is like off of Stanton, and Route 250 is decent just about everywhere. Look at this, off camber, like rolling. It's like a roller coaster here. I've come here a couple of times. I'm not used to the braking of this bike. It is just so sharp and crisp, because it's there's like some Civil War trails. And now we're gonna go on Route 678. This is a great road. I really enjoy this one. A good couple of hours. I haven't seen any other car on the road. I really have to like downshift quite a bit to kind of get the bike in a good tempo, which is it's kind of odd. I think that's the reason I like the 1000s, because I'm lazy. I'm a lazy shifter. You know, this is kind of like interesting when you look around. There's lots of trailers around here, and this kind of shows you how poor people are in the rest of America. We're kind of, you know, lucky to live in a little bubble in Washington DC, where everybody's got like a big house, these big colonial houses for $1 million. But when you look around, man, a lot of people live in trailers, and I don't know what kind of living conditions that they have, but it's kind of sad when you have like all of these people making so much money in the cities, and then people out here that make very little. This road is pretty darn good. I don't remember being 42 being this twisty. Most of the time it's not this twisty, but I think it's just we're crawling over a mountain right now. So Route 42 is pretty nice. Ooh, gravel. Look at this, gravel everywhere. Well, I took another wrong turn. This is the road I wanted to get to. Alright. Even this little section of Route 16 near Marion is excellent to ride. It's just a little section. See, I'm going in and braking, and this front brake is just so hard. Route 16, man. Very cool road, except I'm not used to this bike. It just seems like I can't throw it into corners. This is kind of like a little mini Dragon. Actually, I prefer this over the Dragon. Except the guardrails are frightening. And sometimes there's quite a bit of trash. If you're in the wrong gear in this bike, man, you really need momentum to ride this bike properly. I definitely ridden bikes better than this through here, but Route 16, man. See, I'm like hitting my brakes mid-turn like a noob. Well, I got my dinner. Not a lot of stuff here at Food Lion. It's great. So here I am on my first tent space for the day. I'm in Marion, Virginia, and this is where I'm going to be resting today. As you can see, it's a pretty decent field. I have a creek over there. There's an old cabin over there. This is a private road, and the guy that's letting me stay here is an ADV rider named Carl. He owns all of this land, so I'm really glad that I found him on ADV rider, and thanks a lot for let me stay here. And tomorrow morning we'll get up again and go on our way. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.